Welcome to the Purveyor Zone. My name is Melendi, certified master tobacconist, cigar connoisseur, and purveyor of fine cigars and smoking accessories. Today is February 18th, 2021, so sit back, pour yourself a libation, light up your favorite cigar. In this case, it's a Regis White. Relax and prepare to experience life's earthly pleasures from around the world with the Cigar Purveyor. And today I'm once again in Woodbridge, New Jersey at... Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be at Main Street Cigar, but it looks radically different. And here's Alex Martinez, the general manager at Main Street Cigar, but we're sitting in a different location.
Welcome to the Continental, Mr. Melendi.
Wait a minute, isn't that like John Wick or something?
Well, you could take it to be John Wick. Yes, welcome to the Continental Cigar Club, right next door to Main Street Cigars.
Yeah, I don't have my coin.
You do not need a coin. You got me.
There you go. There you go. Well, it's good to see you again, Alex.
Good to see you. Nice to once again be here and doing this despite all the craziness that's still following us into 2021.
Could you ever imagine that a year ago, when this whole started, I guess last March, let's say, a year later, basically, we would still be in this situation?
I can't believe it. And, I'll admit that I was one of those, this will blow over and, summertime will come and, we'll be fine. And here we are with new strains and now the vaccine. Hopefully that'll, put a dent in this whole menagerie that's been going on.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what has happened in the last year. I mean, the change is just unbelievable. But before we get into what you did to change or whatever the case may be, tell us a little bit about what's been going on here at Main Street Cigars in Woodbridge, New Jersey, because obviously you've made some changes and for the positive.
Well, I wouldn't really call it a change. It's what I call a natural progression. We went from a little sleepy brick and mortar to a bustling cigar shop, and events would just pack us in. And then, of course, COVID hit. So then we had to limit access. And, we're down to half the number of chairs in the back lounge at Main Street that we used to have for social distancing. And we needed to not so much expand, but to give our customers a place where they can go and relax and enjoy a cigar. So we had always talked about the spot next door, the retail space next door to the lounge. And it became available in December, and we began a whole makeover of the space.
Now let me ask you a quick question. You said the space became available. Did the space become available primarily because the business that used to be here was severely affected by COVID, or was this something that was going to happen regardless?
No, actually, they saw their foot traffic become very limited, so they moved upstairs. There's offices upstairs, so we wish no ill will upon anybody. So luckily, he didn't go out of business. He just moved locations upstairs, and he's still repairing tons of phones. People come in and they start looking at the front, like, where'd this phone store go? And then they call him and he tells them, where to go. But it was a good thing for both of us, because he moved upstairs and lowered his overhead, and we moved in over here. So it's this is actually a 24/7 members only lounge.
Now, is that the first time you guys ventured into the 24/7 lounge space?
Yes,
so to speak?
Yes, absolutely. I'd been a member of the Metropolitan Society, which was probably the first 24/7 access members only cigar club in the state, and still a fine location up in Fairfield. And still friends with a lot of the guys up there. Mm-hmm. And the only issue is, time and distance. How far is somebody going to drive to go have a cigar? And the people from this area that frequent Main Street don't make it up to Fairfield. And they needed something similar, in my opinion. And we're lucky enough to have been able to acquire this location. And turn it into what I think is going to be the premier 24/7 access lounge in Central Jersey.
Well, I can definitely see that. I mean, it's a beautiful space. Why don't you describe in more detail? I'm going to supply B-roll like I usually do, and I'm going to showcase this part of the location. So describe a little bit about this space and what kind of experiences a member could benefit from here.
Sure. So we have the parking lot in the back for the store, which a lot of people still don't even realize. And the main entrance to the club is going to be located in the back, and it's through a phone app, the Android and iOS, that grants you access and records, when you come in and out of the club.
That's cool.
So you walk into the back where we have the lockers, humidified lockers for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We have a kitchen set up, big countertop, dishwasher, ice maker, beverage cooler, coffee machines, all the amenities that you would need at 3:00 in the morning when you decided you couldn't sleep and you want to go have a cigar.
Right.
Just come on down here. And we walk into what we call the game room, where we have a poker table and domino table that we can set up according to what the members want to do for that evening. And then you walk into the main lounge, which has 22 nicely appointed chairs, 2 of which we're sitting in right now.
Very comfortable, very nice.
And it's approximately 800 square feet in total. It's a little wider than the Main Street shop. Mm-hmm. And the big draw, of course, is the 24/7 access. You can come in anytime you want, and you have your cigars in your locker and sit down, relax, and enjoy a cigar any time of the day or night.
Very, very nice. And there's definitely ample seating here. I got the game room and the kitchen in the back, and just a great space to come in, relax, maybe do some work. In the evening, they have the facilities for the gaming, for the poker, or whatever else you're going to have. They got beautiful TVs, really nice smoke system to get rid of the smoke. You guys did it right. Now, what are you going to be doing? Is there any changes going to be happening in the main space, which is right next door?
No, not really. We're going to renovate the back area of the lounge just to refresh the flooring and the cabinets that are there, and the bathroom area in the near future. Once this is up and running, and we can shut that down for probably about 3 or 4 days while we get all that work done. But other than that, everything is still the same. Main Street's Main Street, and the Continental's the Continental. So go next door, buy a couple cigars, and if you're a member, come on over here and enjoy. Or you can hang out in the lounge there. It's either way is, your choice.
Right. Oh, that's great. Let me ask you a question here. I have some questions that I brought with me to ask. Not to scare you.
It's a scary thought. Is there a minimum grade that I need to attain?
Yeah. You got to get at least an A- or better. No. So what were 3 challenges you had to overcome in the last year, and how did you overcome them as it relates to Main Street Cigars?
Wow. Well, that's, everything really is going to focus around COVID. The biggest challenges. The first challenge was when, we were told you have to shut down, and what are my guys going to do for cigars and the such? So we had to shift gears and revert to curbside pickup and home delivery, and we did what we had to do to keep the business up and running, and make sure our customers were able to get their cigars in a timely fashion, and it worked out well. We thank God we did very well, and our customers were happy. We were happy. Then the second challenge was the reopening process. You now were allowed, when they opened up restaurants and stuff. Now we could have people back in the lounge, and how do we keep them safe? So that challenge was met through some sanitization, and also installing UV sanitizers in our air cleaner and our HVAC system to further help the issue. And then the next challenge was getting this place up and running for a soft opening on Super Bowl. And
Okay.
we were here until 6 a.m. the night before, and we got it done. So we had our soft opening on Super Bowl Sunday, and in grand fashion.
That's incredible. I mean, the place looks great, and I noticed also in this space you have two really cool paintings. One is of the I guess like a black stallion smoking a cigar. And you have another one, I think it was a tiger or a lion or something.
Yes.
Lion. Yes, lion. So tell us a little bit about these two paintings, because it seems like they're kind of specific to the lounge. The one with the horse, I see smoking a cigar, and it says Main Street Cigar. So what's all that about? Why did you have that done? And so on and so forth.
So we were actually approached by a artist who, through request, started doing oil paintings of animals smoking cigars. And they came by and showed us some of their paintings, and they were just absolutely fitting for the new space.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we picked up a couple, and we're going to actually have her here when we do our official grand opening event, and she's going to make all kinds of different prints in a smaller size, something more affordable, smaller for your man cave, or decorating whatever space you have. And she'll be here.
Are you going to do like a little, like some businesses, when they connect with a local artist, they might hang some of the paintings or prints on the wall that's for sale?
Yes, we plan on doing that as well. She's going to get a couple of the smaller prints here ahead of time, so guys can get used to seeing them and say, oh, you know what, I really like that one. And when we have that event, she's going to be here in full display.
Full display. And have you decided when your grand opening will be?
We don't have a date yet. We're thinking it's going to be in March, maybe about a month from now, maybe just right around mid-March.
Nice. Well, definitely let me know, because I like to be
absolutely. The invites will definitely go out. It's
great.
It was a heck of an undertaking, especially to try to get it done in the short period of time. And like every other construction project, it just kept evolving. And we were hoping maybe February 1st, and then that didn't happen. And I set a hard date of Super Bowl, because we definitely wouldn't have had the room next door to have the traditional, Super Bowl viewing party.
Yeah.
Or the big game. We're not allowed to say Super Bowl. I never said Super Bowl. It's the big game.
Yeah, for some reason, you have to say the big game.
Yeah.
It's like everybody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we just catered some food and invited people that were interested in becoming members of the Continental Cigar Club to come down and enjoy the game with us. And that's what we did.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, I wish you guys much success here. I think it's going to do very well. It's very well laid out, and I take it's something that was needed in the Woodbridge area.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real large cigar lounge in Central Jersey. There's a few cigar shops, and something 24/7 is there's a couple throughout the state. That's it. You can count them on one hand. And so this was definitely something that was needed in this area.
Right. Again, very beautiful. So let's move on here a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about some of the cigars that you have here. Just pick 5 different cigar brands. It doesn't have to be one that I represent, and I do represent some of the cigars or lighters that we may talk about today. But I just want to get an idea. What are some of the cigars that, if somebody comes into Main Street Cigars, they can expect to see?
Well, that's one of the big changes that took place once I took over as manager. We went from the typical, what I call big box, major brands, to more of a boutique cigar-centric humidor. And so along those lines, we brought in smaller, lesser known brands. Regis being one of them.
Right. In full disclosure, I do
Yeah.
represent Regis, but that is one of the lines that they carry here at Main Street.
Yep. And companies like Casa Torrent, Caldwell.
Right.
We just brought in a house blend cigar made in Nicaragua. The factory, through an NDA, can't be disclosed because they make some really good cigars and they're really giving us a fantastic product. And we have it in natural Maduro. Connecticut Maduro and a Habano wrapper.
Nice.
All of which are really good. And, I remember the last time you were here, you gave me the Regis Connecticut, which, and I prefaced it, but I'm not a big Connecticut cigar smoker, but that cigar has flavor. And ours is similar as well in that vein.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a cigar. And the Connecticut doesn't have to be mild. Sometimes it gets a bad rap because it's too light and you can't really enjoy the taste because it doesn't really taste like anything. But there's some really good Connecticut's, Regis being one of them. That's actually, it's not a strong cigar, but it has a lot of flavor.
If they're blended right, it'll stand up to a Habano. It'll stand up to a Maduro or a sun grown. Obviously, different flavor profiles, but it'll stand up to anything if it's blended right. And that Regis is one that's blended right. The Black Label Trading Company and Black Works is another boutique brand that we carry. They have the porcelain in a Connecticut that most guys that smoke Connecticut's would think that cigar is light until you try it, and then you realize, wow, no, this is not. It's not a mild cigar at all.
Yeah. It's very enjoyable, and a lot of people sometimes think that when somebody says, this is a stronger cigar, a lot of times it doesn't mean that it's strong in terms of the sense of like a spice bomb or a pepper bomb, but it has a lot of robust flavors to it. Flavors actually, you can pick out the flavors, you can enjoy the flavors. It's not just like smoking air, so to speak. And that all comes down to the master blender's craftsmanship, I guess.
Sure, and the tobacco used,
and the tobacco and the way it's grown, fermented, and so on and so forth. And by the way, you guys are looking at not only am I a certified tobacconist, but Alex is as well. And give a little shout out to the Tobacconist Handbook, of which we both have a little blurb on the back cover.
Yes.
We're
both there.
Yeah, we're both there. If you encourage you to check out the Tobacconist Handbook by Jorge Armenteros. He started the whole program and he's put his blood, sweat, and tears into it. And he just came out with version 2, which is the hardcover. Awesome book that explains everything about premium tobacco, cigars, or some pipe tobacco in there, history of that, history of tobacco in general. So you get a chance, check it out. You will not be disappointed.
Highly recommend it. It's something that if you're really into cigars, you need to read the book. It'll give you so much knowledge and prepare you if you choose to become a certified tobacconist at some point in the future.
That's right. So check it out. That's the Tobacconist Handbook. You go to tobacconistuniversity.org. Get all the information there. So let's see. Have you thought about what is your plan in 2021, providing you're able to do this, starting up events again, or have you thought about events? Are you having events right now? How has the pandemic slowed you down in that respect, if at all?
Well, the government restrictions that were imposed on indoor gatherings obviously put a nix on really having an event, because once we have an event, we pack the shop.
Yeah.
So it kind of put a damper on that, and we're going to kick off 2021 in a little over a week with a different type of event where surrogates will be featured that day. We're going to have the limited AKC cigar, and we're going to have maybe Pete Johnson and his group on Zoom, and we're going to have Mo here. Dan's going to be on Zoom with Mo here, and we're going to run an event. Little different than the normal event where everybody would just come and hang out for the night and eat and everything else. So what we've switched up is the food part. We really don't do unless it's individually wrapped items that you can just grab, so there's no contamination or going on. And it's both virtual and in person, so you can choose. You don't like crowds, you can choose to come in, grab your cigars, go home, sit down in front of your computer and watch the show unfold.
Right.
Or if you're not averse to it, then you can come down. We do temperature checks at the shop, make sure nobody's got a fever. And obviously we sanitize before and after. So every day we that's part of the regimen. We go around and spray everything down and make sure our customers enjoy a clean environment.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm actually working on a project. Hopefully I'll be able to unveil it in the next month or so. I'm going to start doing some live streaming to incorporate those type of things into what I do in terms of able to have these virtual events with the products that I represent and have augmented with something that goes on inside the tobacconist. So be on the lookout for that.
I hate the term, but it's unfortunately the new normal. And I think that's one of the things the cigar industry has really been able to do is change to accommodate this new, life that we're living, where things became, virtual. And, you got the virtual lounges, you got the virtual events going on, and some more successul than others, but it's there's a learning curve, and
absolutely, it's new to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. But think about it now. There's no barrier between, let's say, Akil getting on Zoom and hosting a HERF, and you get to meet Akil. Be it virtual, but you I think our access to brand owners and manufacturers has increased during the pandemic.
Yeah. And that brings me to another question. I think you just answered one of these things. I was going to ask you, what are some of the challenges coming to our industry and the changes or things that we can do to pivot, if you will, in these new times. And I think one is definitely the ability to stream and have virtual events. Granted, in my opinion, it's not the same thing as going to a live event. But unfortunately, times have changed. The world is now moving in this direction. And just give us a little bit about your opinion and what you think. What are some of the things, like 3 things that you foresee that's going to be changing?
Well, I think the biggest issue we're facing right now is supply and demand. The manufacturers are not able to be at full capacity still, and that is affecting the supply of cigars. Coupled with the increased demand brought on by the pandemic, people are home more, they're smoking more. Think about it. What better way to shed the day's stress, in these times than to sit back, relax, and enjoy a cigar or 2 or 3. And that's what we've seen. So the big challenge that we're going to be facing we're already facing it, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, is the supply of cigars. And for the most part, customers are, they're understanding, no, I'm sorry, I don't have your favorite size, but I do have this size in stock. And, they get it. It's it's the same everywhere. I mean, look at the toilet paper shortage of 2020. Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, the supply chain has been broken in a lot of different areas. Cigars, even some things in my smoking accessories lines. Some of those items have been back ordered, and a lot of those things have to come in on a container, on a ship, and you're dealing with other countries that have their own pandemic rules and regulations and how they're handling the pandemic. And there's no doubt about it. The supply chains across multiple industries, if not all industries, have been broken.
Sure. Look, I mean, we were just discussing 2 weeks ago with butane. I was down to my last can of butane. Nobody had butane.
And that's going to be a problem that's going to go for a while. I can tell you a lot of the high-end butane, the butane that you want to put into your lighters comes out of England. And there's been disruption, not just the butane itself, but also in the manufacturing of the cans. I mean, there's the gas, the butane, and then there's the can that they put it in, and that's material. And those are factories that are running at half capacity or less because of COVID. So a lot of things are being affected.
Yeah, these are challenging times for manufacturing in general. Yeah, you have your workforce, can't work. How do you make what you were making before? Anybody try to buy a can of Lysol lately?
It's very difficult to find Lysol.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is one common myth about your profession or field here as a tobacconist that you want to debunk? What is something in your cigar journey that you've heard multiple times that people think it's true, but it's really not?
Well, I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to do it one as a retailer. You get the guys that say, "Oh yeah, you got a great job. You're sitting in a cigar shop all day." And the truth of the matter is, yes, I do. I have a great job. I can sit and smoke cigars all day long.
Right.
Not. There's a lot that goes on. I mean, people are buying cigars. You got to restock. You got to order. You got to maintain inventory. It's not as simple a job. I mean, the guy at the deli that's restocking his shelves, the only difference is he doesn't do it while smoking a cigar. I do, which is what makes my job great. But it's not easy. And then what I hear a lot too from my customers when they see a guy like you or, one of the other reps that comes in, "Oh, I want their job. They have a great job. All they do is go around to cigar shops and hang out and bullshit." Well, let me tell you something. That's your job, and my hat goes off, especially during these times, the way things were. These reps that have been, forced to stay home, in some cases, coming around a quarter of the time that they used to. That job is a heck of a job, one that, I don't think I would want, and a lot harder than people think. So it's not all Shangri-La.
No, I mean, being a cigar broker, there's a lot of planning involved, and then, to constantly reinvent yourself, not just being a broker or selling cigars, but also, having the show that I do and doing events and stuff like that. That little bit of time that the person comes in and sees you talking to people, smoking cigars, having a drink, enjoying yourself is a fraction of what we do.
Absolutely. I mean,
that's the fun part. Just I use this analogy. Just picture back in the days when you could go out to see a live rock band, and you go to the show, and for 2 hours you're entranced by this wow factor, this eye candy, the sound, the lights, the pyro, the whole thing. And it's just like you walk away and you're like, wow, that was an incredible show. Do you realize that 12 hours before that moment, there are people setting this stuff up. There's people planning this stuff, logistics. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're easy 12 hours for a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
easy.
You're setting up at a big arena, at least 12 hours, not including the transporting and being on a bus and blah, 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 for 2 hours of a spectacle.
Yeah. It's not all bourbon and cigars. I can assure you. It's not all bourbon. How many miles do you put on your car on a good year?
Well, in a non-COVID year, close to 45 to 50,000. Didn't come close to those numbers last year. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, but saved your car, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's a lot of butt time on the road.
Yes. Yeah, you get used to it, and you kind of make it interesting, with the stuff like this, like the podcast, and you try to invent your own experiences on the road, and your just to make it more bearable, and also to make it fun.
So now I'm going to throw a question at you.
He's putting me on the spot.
With all these changes that have taken place,
Mm.
what do you miss the most?
What do I miss the most? Probably I miss interacting with a lot of the customers. I miss interacting, either during an event or when I'm at a store. And also walking into a store, you gotta, you're wearing a mask unless you're smoking a cigar. But I think it's it's just interacting with people the way that we used to, right? Because now everything is gone either virtual or it's limited capacity. So that's what I miss the most.
And let's face it, cigar smoking is a social event. It's not, you don't see many guys sitting in the corner all by themselves smoking a cigar. It's usually, what brings them to lounges and to join clubs like this is the camaraderie, the friendships, the banter that goes on at these places.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of people like, it's unfortunate, but there's some cigar smokers that I know and I've spoken to, and they don't go to the shops as much, if at all. What they do is they'll go to the shop, pick up the cigar, but they're not staying as much. At least some of the people that I know, they're bringing it home. So I kind of miss that kind of the banter, the interaction, the social aspect. You still see it at some level, but it's nothing like it was.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's I'd say it's maybe 25% of what it used to be as far as the, lounge traffic, people that actually buy and stay. And that's kind of the reason that we looked at doing this space to, be able to provide room for social distancing. If you're hanging out with a group of guys and that's your group, that's your bubble, you got this spot over here. Somebody else will have that spot over there. And it hopefully will lend itself to bringing a little bit more of that back to the area and to the customers.
Yeah, no, that's hopefully we'll get back there, and I'm sure at some point we will. I don't know what changes are going to be more permanent because this thing has been going on for such a long time. I'm sure there's going to be some changes that will last longer than maybe we would like. So let's see. Speaking about the social aspect and having your customers, where can our listeners connect with you online? How do they find out more information online? What are you doing online so they can go either to your website, to your social media platforms? How can they connect with you here at Main Street?
So Main Street, MANE, which always throws people. Maine, like a horse's mane.
Yeah.
MainStreetCigars.com is our regular webpage. We're on Facebook, Main Street Cigars is there as well. And we're also on Instagram, Main Street Cigars. And the Continental Cigar Club is starting to get a presence in the social media realm. We haven't really been putting it out there too much yet. We wanted to kind of give our customers a little bit of a head start in joining because we do foresee, filling up, and we're obviously going to cap capacity. So we foresee it filling up quickly, and we wanted to give our customers the first chance at joining and getting their lockers and getting settled in, and then really putting it out to the masses in the social media realm. And it's the Continental CC is the handle on Instagram, and you can see some of the pictures that we've taken with we've had open houses where customers were just allowed to come in and check out the new spot and see if they join. And actually, today's the last day for the open houses. After this, it'll be members only.
Very nice, very nice. I really like that name, the Continental. When you were going through building the lounge and deciding what to call it, how did you come up with that name, the Continental?
Well, believe it or not, it is a pretty popular movie out there, and one of the guys that works at the shop next door just out of the blue said, "Hey, yeah, we should call it the Continental." And it was funny because everybody's eyes went like, "Wow, that's a really cool name," and it got legs of its own and just took off, and here we are at the Continental.
Yeah, it's a great name. Absolutely. So, what does a great cigar experience mean to you?
That's a very deep philosophical question. You know what? A great cigar experience goes well beyond the cigar itself. It goes to the time and the place, the people you're with, the surroundings. Just everything going on. It's having a crappy day at work, coming in, sitting down at a cigar lounge with your favorite cigar, which happens to be whatever cigar you're smoking at that point,
Right.
and it just sitting back, shedding the day's stress, and sitting around and talking with other brothers and sisters of the leaf that have that same connection. And it changes your mood, it changes your outlook, it changes everything. I don't think there's any problem in the world that couldn't be solved in a cigar lounge with a bourbon and a cigar.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think they should allow cigar smoking on the in Congress, on the Senate floor, and in the House of Representatives. Maybe more things will get done.
I think something will get done. Maybe.
That's about all I'm going to get in terms of political. No, I think it's important that, to me, I think a great cigar experience, and Alex, you hit it on the head. It's the social aspect. It's bringing people together, and I've said this over and over again on many of my podcasts, and even just being around people. The cigar is like the great equalizer. It brings people together. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a corporation, or if you're a waiter at a restaurant, or you work in a retail establishment. When you go to a cigar lounge such as Main Street Cigars here in Woodbridge, New Jersey, you're going to meet different people. It doesn't matter what you do. Cigars got to break down the barriers, so to speak.
There are no barriers.
There you go.
In a cigar shop, there are no barriers unless you put it up yourself. Yeah. And it's very difficult to do that because guys will tear it down for you.
You put it up, it's coming right down.
It's coming right down. Yeah, it is the equalizer. People from different walks of life, different nationalities, even different languages. I mean, we've had customers that are in from business from overseas that spoke very little English, and they had a great time in the lounge. And it was just an experience to behold. That's part of the cigar experience. It's so much more than the cigar, which is the central point, but it transcends that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I mean, the next time you're in a cigar lounge, hopefully you'll be able to get to one, and they'll have everything will be somewhat back to normal again when things get through this time that we're in. Just to meet new people, exchange ideas, just meet new friends. It's the greatest.
When I travel, that's the first thing I do. I get into my hotel, I open up Yelp, and I look and find the local cigar shop, and that's usually my first or second stop. Go check out the cigar scene in that particular city that I'm in.
No, absolutely. So, what are some of the best resources that has helped you along your cigar journey?
We touched on one, Tobacconist University, wealth of knowledge. And I tell you, the world that we live in with the technology that we have, I mean, YouTube. you go on YouTube and you could literally spend days watching cigar reviews, video casts and everything and anything for whatever subject. I mean, you could learn to fix your toilet or your kitchen sink or how to light a cigar all by going on YouTube. So the internet is, overused, I'll say, but it's such a wealth of knowledge. You can literally spend a lifetime probably looking at all the content, and some content better than others, but it's something to learn. Everybody has. It's like everything. People have their own opinions, and some people like X cigar, other people like Y cigar, but in the end, they both like cigars, and you're getting kind of an idea. And what I've noticed with cigar reviewers is you tend to hone in on a couple that like the same things you like. And now you know that their palate is very similar to yours. So if they like something, chances are you're going to like it. And you kind of get an idea before you go and plop down $10, $12, $15 for that stick that you're going to like it. Because, hey, this guy, raved about it. Let me try it. And that's, one of the great things about YouTube and podcasts and what you do is another one. It brings different shops to the forefront, and it gives people who might live in South Dakota watching this podcast see what a cigar shop is like in New Jersey and see what the lounges are like in New Jersey. So
absolutely.
It gives you an experience.
Yeah, it gives you an experience, and especially if you're going to travel. I mean, a lot of people are not traveling as much now, but if in your example, if someone in South Dakota is going to come to New Jersey for business, or maybe they're visiting family, they'll go online, they'll see the place, they'll see a video of this place, they'll see a write-up or review, and then they'll be like, you know what? When I'm in that Woodbridge area in New Jersey next week, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to visit Main Street, and I'm going to introduce myself to Alex and his team. And then, you build new, friendships.
And we've had that happen. We recently had an employee. She was down in Ybor City, and this guy, and her husband kind of took a little umbrage to it. But this guy kept looking at her, and he walks over. He goes, "I know you."
That happens a lot.
She's like, "No, this is my first time." He goes, "No, Main Street Cigars. You post on their Instagram stuff." So she works here, posts, and this guy follows her in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah. You just never know.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know. So if you were going to give advice to someone that wants to get involved in the cigar industry, what type of advice would you give that person? Whether it's going to be going into retail side of things, or maybe they want to open their own shop, or maybe they want to be on the road in sales, or what have
you. Run.
Run.
It's a very difficult industry. The governmental climate around cigars. You got your CRA hat on. I mean, it's just been a battle to differentiate the cigar industry from cigarettes. The tobacco, the great evil, and so it's a very, very industry. There's a lot of shops opening up, though. It's got to show you something that there is a demand for premium hand-rolled cigars. And hopefully,
without a doubt,
hopefully through the efforts of the CRA, the PCA, we can, fight back the regulation, and we can get some normalcy and not extinguish an artisan industry from existence.
Absolutely. You go along and you fight these battles, and you win a battle, you lose a battle. But this is a battle, and I always said this over and over again. This is going to continue, and
never ending.
It's going to never end, and we always have to be prepared and fighting and standing up. What is right, and there are people trying to tear us down. And it's 2021, and we're still here. because we've come together and we're fighting these things through the CRA and the PCA and these trade organizations that have our back and are working hard to try to get us some relief and to protect our livelihoods.
Shameless plug, but if you're not a CRA member, you're part of the problem, and you got to become part of the solution.
There
Join
you go.
the CRA. It's $25. Still, they're still doing the $25.
I believe so. It's cigarrights.org.
Cigarrights.org. Help to fight back and be part of the solution. Be part of the battle. If you enjoy this, you owe it not only to yourself but to your fellow cigar smokers to be part of the solution.
That's right. That's right. And now I'm just going to, speaking about shameless plugs, I'm just going to, real quick, one of the things that I want to talk about real quick, and I know that they have them here at Main Street Cigars, is Lotus and Vertigo lighters. Have here the Cyclone.
I see your Cyclone and raise you an Eloquence.
That's it. He's gonna beat me with the Eloquence. But these are two products. These are two Vertigo products, lifetime warranty, and they work great. They last forever.
And listen, not because you're here, but we've phased out several lighter manufacturers because nobody offers the consumer a warranty that comes anywhere near Vertigo's. And they're when they do break, is like anything else. They do break. People do drop them.
Yep.
And do crazy things with their lighters, like sweat pipes and stuff that they're not really supposed to.
Right, but they have your back and they'll take care of it.
That's it. You come in, I give you another one. This new lighter, it came out last year. That's the right. Eloquence. It's a metal body, 4 jets, nice. To coin a phrase from another podcast, the Cigar Authority, it's got the patented big ass tank. You fill it and it lasts, even though it's 4 jets. Same thing with that one. That's a 3 jet.
Yeah.
But this is, it's just a beautiful piece of work, and it's $24.95. Where are you getting something like this? The quality that you're getting. It's got the bullet punch on the bottom, so you always can access your cutter if you need to. If you forget your cutter, you got the little punch on the bottom, and just phenomenal. This turned out to be my new favorite lighter. I thought I liked the dagger until this one came out. Now I have too many lighters.
Yeah,
I have a lighter problem. My name is Alex.
Yeah. Hello, Alex. But yeah, if you're at Main Street Cigars or any of your favorite tobacconists, check out the Vertigo line or the Lotus line of lighters. Great quality stuff, and they got the for the Vertigo the no hassle lifetime warranty. So, all right, that's enough about lighters. So, what is one or more or a moment in your life, a proud moment of your life in your professional career, cigar or otherwise? What was that? I guess the most proud moment in your professional career.
Well, we'll talk cigars. Because after 25 years in law enforcement, I got plenty of stories to tell there, but that goes on in another podcast. I think one of the distinctions that Main Street Cigars had was that they had been voted best of the best cigar shops in Middlesex County, and for whatever reason, they didn't get it a year before I took over, and we did a concerted effort to bring things back up to that level, and so we were lucky enough to be named best of the best in 2019 in Middlesex County, and in 2020 they upped the game a little bit. They made it Central Jersey, and we won best of the best cigar shop in Central Jersey.
Well, congratulations!
And I think that was
well deserved.
Thank you. That was a proud moment. I was, almost like a giddy school kid, and
absolutely,
it was cool. It was nice that our customer base came out for us and said, yeah, this is a great shop.
Awesome. And it is a great shop. It is a great shop. Again, you're in the Central Jersey in the Woodbridge area. Come on down to Main Street Cigar. Alex and his team will take good care of you. So if you could smoke a cigar with any three people in the world, whether they're still living or not, who would those three people be and why?
Well, I think that the first one, and I got the hat just the other day, to go along with it. I'd love to have a cigar with Winston Churchill.
Okay.
And some scotch with him too, obviously, because they went hand in hand, and just to pick his brain. If you haven't seen the movie, what's it, The Darkest Hour? Yeah, fantastic movie. So on the history end, that would be one. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd love to meet Arnold and sit back and have a cigar with him and talk about the behind the scenes stuff of his movies and such like that. I think that would be a great conversation. And just because of my 25 years in law enforcement, I'd love to have one with Lieutenant Colombo, because it's just one more thing I wanted to ask him. It just that's I have a signed Peter Falk picture of him with his cigar and his trench coat with his hand on his head, and he's always been a favorite of mine. So I think those would be get them all in one room at the same time. That would be interesting. But I think Arnold and Winston Churchill would take over the conversation.
Probably so.
Mhm.
Probably so. So if you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
That's tough, man. I think I'd probably tell him, listen, relax, it'll all work out. You got this. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
And kind of eliminate some of that stress. You always have a little bit of that self-doubt that, am I going to be able to do this? Is this going to work out? And
right.
I think sometimes you just gotta go with it. And knowing then what I know now, I don't think I really would change much.
Okay, that's good to know. So you're happy with the way your journey progressed through life?
Yes. Yep.
Nice. Awesome. So, what is something new or upcoming that the audience should know about what's going on at Main Street Cigars? I know you mentioned the grand opening.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the Continental grand opening sometime in March. We're going to do that Surrogates event on Thursday the 25th. And we just brought in Aganorsa Leaf. Terrence Riley promised me he's going to be coming to the shop. So we'll have an event, with him here in the very near future. And we're just, we're here for our customers. We've been here the whole time. We'll continue to be here, and we welcome you to come down and check out the shop, enjoy a fine cigar with us, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll be able to see everything going on, and you'll know when the events are happening. And come take a tour of the facility here at the Continental, and it might be something you want to join and become a member of.
Fantastic. And what is the address here and the telephone number?
The address is 53 Main Street, spelled the common way, not like our store name, Mane. It's Main Street in Woodbridge. We're right across the street from the post office, down the street from Town Hall. And the number is 732-326-9545. You can always email us at cigars@mainstreetcigars.com.
Great. And before we conclude the podcast, if you were to step into my humidor, what question would you ask yourself that I didn't ask? If any.
You didn't ask me what my favorite cigar was. Everybody asks what your favorite cigar.
Well, then let's ask, what is your favorite cigar?
The cigar I'm smoking at whatever time you ask me that question.
That is a very good answer, and it's true. It's true, because a cigar, you can have a cigar and be in a great mood, be talking to great people, and that experience is going to be incredible. However, if you've had a bad day and you're not feeling well or what have you, it doesn't matter what cigar you're smoking. It could have been rated the #1 cigar in the last decade. is probably not going to be very good at that moment.
Exactly. It's that's a question that I can't tell you how many people ask me that in the shop. What's your favorite cigar? I said, well, it depends. And they go, what do you mean it depends?
Of course it depends.
It depends on, what time of day is it? There's so many factors that go into choosing a cigar, especially working in a cigar shop where you have 600 facings. It's, you go into the humidor just like a consumer does. Go into the humidor and you're like, what do I feel like today? It's like looking at a menu at a restaurant. What do you feel like having today? What's your favorite meal? Just because you love filet mignon doesn't mean you eat it every day.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Well, that's awesome. I mean, this is a great conversation. I'm glad that you had the time to sit down with me and to kind of update everyone as to what's going on at Main Street. And you've done some incredible work here, you and your team. This addition of the Continental to the Main Street Cigars is just awesome. And I wish you guys all the luck. And I know that it's going to be successful. And I'm looking forward to doing events here in the future and all that. And you've been listening to the Purveyor Zone with your host, Ron Melendi. I'm here with my special guest, General Manager of Main Street Cigars, Alex Martinez. You can catch his podcast on Vimeo, YouTube. Also, you can hear it on Apple, Spotify. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and you subscribe as well to the channel. Some great stuff coming out here at Main Street Cigars. And again, thank you so much, Alex, for being on the show.
No, thank you for coming down and taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with us here.
Anytime, my friend.
Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys soon and stay smoky, my friends.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.